Hey, how are you? Is it Tuesday already? It must be, because we're all sitting down here. We skipped a week and now we're back for Comic Industry Insiders Live. And this, more specifically, is the pre-show banter, the pranter, if you will. I'm getting a lot of suggestions this week for what we should call it. As you can tell, my office is even messier than normal because we're just getting back. There's even legitimate suitcases right there. But let me bring in our first guest. Is probably not accurate because this is the guy who's probably going to be running the whole show, basically, because I don't really know what's going on this week. So welcome to the stage, Mr. Brian Garside.
Wait, I wasn't told that I'd be running the whole show.
Listen, I'm just saying you're more of a power bottom this week. Let's put it that way.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was said. So moving on. Okay. Things I didn't expect on my bingo card for the day.
How are you, my friend? It was
good.
So nice having being around you for a week. And
yeah, it was great.
In our home countries. You know?
And now I'm back with like some sort of virus thing going on, and that's great. But it's not the full-on con crud that everyone gets. It's just, I think it's a run-of-the-mill, like, just everyday kind of cold.
Our normal guy usually who's on the show, Mr. Joe Keating, is busily putting together Comics the Magazine #2 with like the worst, like whatever came home with his 3-year-old kind of thing. Yeah,
that's gonna happen.
Audio issues. Okay, well, all right. Well, this is gonna be a fun one, man. We're just gonna basically
are we quiet or?
No, I think I can hear you. I'm fine.
Yeah, and I hear you.
And other people are having issues, so whatever. It's their issues anyway.
Yeah.
You know, let's bring in some people for this. Oh wait, let's get another idea. What we can call this? We can call this the Prana prattle, shall we? I'm going to bring in somebody this week who is actually a very much of a regular, and only because I know that he's going to do all the pitching for me. So in case I forget, Mr. Game, Yoko.
It's our third wheel.
Here. That's really all you need to know, right there.
Yeah.
It's on the other side.
It's actually on the other side.
It's over here.
Like that. Yeah.
Well, on my side.
I'm pointing at it now.
Anyway,
Comics the Magazine FOC March 9th.
Monday. Monday.
Fellas, that's before the first issue ships.
Hey, look, you know what?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
This is what
it is. You know,
let's just deal with that. We're going to take 2 seconds to deal with that before we bring in the rest of our guests. Yes, we did everything on time. Yes, everything did show up. It turns out there are a very small window in which if you are not on the right side of that window, it doesn't go out to most people. And we learned something new this week that we're going to make this much stronger and better for all of our clients. But some folks have it. It
exists, people. Like it has existed for a while. You know,
we had those at CompcsPRO. And
how did that fall in? I don't even know what that is. Sorry.
We're not doing it. Never mind.
Did I merge myself? Did I?
I'm going to start bringing some people at random here because we're going to run out of time to hear from everybody. This week, y'all, we have one of the patron saints, the people that I swear to God keep the spiritual life of comics exactly where it needs to be. And Kathy. Judy and Kathy from Big. Hey!
Hi, y'all.
Welcome. I'm so glad you guys were able to make
these happy, smiling faces.
I know.
Well, you know what? We got to fake it at least once a week.
That's right.
It was so nice to be together a week.
Right?
It really was. It really was. Have you caught up on your sleep? Have you gotten back?
No, we did not. No.
We went to Pittsburgh after ComicsPRO.
Oh my goodness.
Together. We were together for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Ooh.
When they took ComicsPRO away from Pittsburgh, it doesn't mean you have to go back. It means
we went back for the book, for the ABA Winter Institute.
Yeah.
So we did ComicsPRO-ish with book people.
Yeah.
And then we got home. When did we get home? Thursday night? Midnight? Friday morning?
Thursday. Can't remember. Yes. Wow. Thursday night. Yeah.
And now this week, the Gamma show is on. It's like just industry conferences back to back this first month.
Yeah. And then ECC is coming up. We're not going to there. I've never been there. But I'm watching everybody on LinkedIn get ready to go and have a fun time with all this.
My next one is at C2E2, where we have plans. We're going to
End of
discuss
March.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I'm just going to start bringing people to the stage now, just like rapid fire. This is a man who we found out this week is on one of the most famous covers. He might actually be Batman. It's Mr. Stuart Schreck.
Oh my gosh! Apparently, I am Batman. Yeah,
That's what we hear. That's what we're told, and we're going to make sure that we spread that word far and wide.
do you want more clarity on that?
Are we doing that? We're doing that later in the rundown.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think it's in the slides.
Okay, good.
If not, we'll queue you up for that story.
You're getting that story later on.
Okay, sounds good.
How was your first ComicsPRO for Dark Horse? Was it? It
was great. It was great. It was a love fest. I was so happy to be back. It was so nice to have the retailers welcome me back.
Yeah, awesome.
A lot. Retailers are rooting for Dark Horse, and they're happy I'm here. So
absolutely,
we have
a
plan.
Rooting for you too. All right, we have a lot of publishers this week, so let's bring in one of them. Oh, Miss Bree, you made
it. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
You were very clear that you were supposed to come on the show. Yeah, well, I was a little afraid not to make sure that happened.
Good. You should be.
Yeah.
Hey, Bree.
Oh.
Hi.
We at some point I'm gonna have to queue up a little video that I have of Bree from the After Hours karaoke. But speaking of After Hours karaoke, this person right here, I swear to God, it's rare that you have somebody who has a hit that they always are asked to perform. But Shannon, if you've never seen Shannon at karaoke, you just have not. You've not lived, my friends. You're not there yet. You just you really have some. There is at least one more on your bucket list. That's for sure.
First time that somebody said break stuff was up next, I was like, wait, I don't think I am. And then Shannon took it, and I was like, oh my goodness.
I think, Brian, I think you were there the first time I ever did it, weren't you, in New York?
Yeah, New York, yeah. I think, Adam, were you there? I can't remember if you were at the first one.
The second New York, we did it, yeah.
I want to say so, yeah. It was life-changing.
You weren't there at the first one, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I missed one ComicsPRO, and that was the one. That was one out of an entire career. I am so excited to have this next person who I'm going to jump in. This is somebody who I was when I went to Mark, and Mark said, "No, I can't make it." But what about Morgana? I was so excited. Hey, Morgana, welcome to
everybody.
The show.
Thank you. It's great to be here. It's nice to see you all again after not so long.
I know. It's really odd. I swear that it's, we're going to talk about this more, but there's somebody, I want to say it was Shannon. I overheard it. Somebody saying that it felt like it was a conversation they'd been having about ComicsPRO feeling like church camp. And I have never felt something so hard. As a many year veteran of church camp, I can tell you it's exactly what it feels like. It's just remarkable. Good job, Shannon and crew.
I was like, thank you. And that is, the person in that conversation with me, Jeff Bigley, who wrote a great exactly how it feels like church camp. So if you need to see how we broke that down, Jeff nailed it.
All right. I'm limited to the number of people I can have on the screen. So I'm going to have to say goodbye, Gabe. Bye, Gabe.
Bye,
Why?
Gabe.
Because we have in our midst absolute royalty these days and all days, Miss Christina Merkler. Hey, you're on mute.
I don't know about royalty, but whatever.
I don't know. Have you tried saying off with their heads yet? Because I don't know how it would go for you. I'm saying it wouldn't. I'm just saying you should try maybe once. Not to me. Never mind. I feel like I'm digging myself a hole. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. You sound sound a little ComicsPRO-y, chesty.
No, I'm not. Actually,
Oh.
I lucked out. No, I'm just tired. I was up super ridiculously early this morning and then just came in super ridiculously early. So
yeah,
I'm ready for my day to end already, but that's not going to happen.
I believe we call that a Tuesday in the comics industry.
Yes.
Oh, look, it's a Tuesday.
Is there anything? This is usually the time of the show where we talk about the things that we can't really dig deep in. Is there anything that has happened in the last week that that is maybe not newsworthy, but absolutely should be noticed inside of comics? Anybody? I'm going to leave that up to the room. Anybody got something? I take that as a no. Okay.
No, I have a fun little announcement. Millie, who just made a cameo here, the dog who lived, was found cancer-free after her most recent surgery. So, yeah. That is my totally cancer-free puppy.
I love it.
Love that for you. That's so great.
She's had a couple rounds of mast cell tumors now, so she's starting to look a little Frankensteinian. She's got scars all over her, like a jigsaw puzzle that we're putting back together. But yeah, she's doing good.
Aw.
Sweet baby angel.
I know, right? She's the best.
Okay. I don't know. I did have something. Will you, Brian, you vamp for me for just a minute? Because I got to find something here.
Always.
Really
Yeah. So, okay. Quick question. We've only got a couple minutes. Prose book. Best prose book anybody has recently read. Got some book folks here. Who's got a good one?
I have been touting Lights Out by Navessa Allen. I love smut. It is an amazing smut book. It's about a girl who falls for her stalker. And it is not only smutty, but hilarious. I did not expect to laugh as much reading this book.
Wait, who's the author?
Navessa Allen. Ooh, and I just saw somebody mention Dungeon Crawler Carl, which I did just pick up this weekend because everybody on Whova was talking about it. So it is on my TBR pile.
I'm in the middle of Margot's Got Money Trouble. It's I know it's being turned into a show or a movie, and it's mildly wrestling related. So I'm down for that.
I read a lot of thrillers. I read You Killed Me First, which was really good. Cannot think of the author. And then I'm in the middle of The Paris Apartment right now by Lucy Foley, and I love her. Yeah, like I read Midnight Feast and Guest List, and those are two very solid books.
Yeah.
I have to jump in here because Bree and I almost went to blows over something at the auction, and it was by Colleen Coover. It was a hardcover. I want to say of her, like, what was it? The small. I can't remember the name of the title. But
I'll be right back.
Oh no, she has it.
Spoiler alert! Who won?
She won. I let her win. I saw who I was bidding against, and I said no. Yes, there it is.
Nice.
Now, small favors. Yes. Now, Bree, at the time, I said you should look up this particular creator. If you're into smutty comics, I cannot say enough about Molly Keeley. That kind of girl. This is one of my favorites. During the late '90s, I worked at Fantagraphics, and they were doing a whole lot of smut back then, and so I got to sell smut for a living for a little while. It was an interesting time, the '90s.
Yeah.
That's a really good lesson to learn for next year's auction. We really need to have like some antagonistic relationships in that room so that we can get some good battles. Because when we get those people that we dislike and we bid against, not that it's ever happened to me, but I may have gone way over my budget a couple years ago because I did not want the wrong person to win the thing that I wanted to win. So yeah.
Or you could be like me, and you can make the person who really shouldn't even be in the room spend $1,000 on a poster. You're welcome, Shannon.
It's all for good. It's all for good.
Too good.
All right.
Yeah. Apparently, you don't have to orchestrate the drama. So.
Oh no, the drama comes. It's there.
Comes.
Okay. Let's shall we just shut this thing down and light this candle for real, and as though we're business professionals?
Let's make it happen.
Pretend.
All right, let's do it.
We'll pretend.
Hey, it's the Adam and Brian hour that you're over there.
I didn't know I would be here so early.
You're on it, baby. You're on it. Oh man,
right.
welcome back, everybody. We had a brief break there as we were all at ComicsPRO and ran a prepackaged live video, and thank you for watching.
No, we didn't. Last week we had a live show.
Did we have a live show last week?
Yeah, you were in a hotel room.
God damn it!
Amazing. That was, folks, just for the record, last week's show was not prepackaged. I was, in fact, here.
Oh, that just shows, man.
That's amazing.
Scrambled my brain has been for the last 2 weeks. Oh,
yeah.
God. Wow.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
I know, and Brian cried. I know, Jamie.
Yeah.
I
also
remember
happened,
it now.
We were not going to mention that, Jamie. Thanks so much for reminding me.
He cried
on the internet.
Hard.
My daughter always jokes that it's not even a joke. She's like, I've only seen Dad cry like twice. Well, if she watched the internet, she would see me cry thrice. Yeah.
Yes, indeedy. Well, we are back. Legitimately, everybody's back in their home bases. I'm not crammed into a hotel, getting packed up and trying to get out. We are, I'm not yet, as you can tell, the Prana sign's not yet back up, but we're getting back to normality, as it were. And so this week we have like a huge show. I really have no idea what the running time of this show is going to be. It's
a tight 60, man. We can't go a minute over 60.
You're cute.
I'm gonna keep you on track, son. I'm gonna keep you on track.
During the pre-show banter, I talked about it being just this sandwich. We just kept putting layers on, and then like, oh, this is not gonna go into our. Anyway, there we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of meat here.
There's a whole lot of meat in this sandwich. What are we talking about this week?
Oh my goodness, we got so much going on. It's a big week.
The aftermath.
Who's in charge of pushing buttons this week? Is it Blake?
I think it must be Blake.
Right.
It's Blake doing his thing. He's the back.
So our headlines this week are pretty big. There's a lot of stuff going on in here, and I threw in a couple headlines that I just want to talk about, specifically around speculators and kind of let's call them the old guard's reaction to speculators. And I think a lot of us have a very different kind of position on speculation's importance in the industry and how it happens during a growth period. And then we're going to do another ComicsPRO The Aftermath, because there was a lot of stuff that happened at ComicsPRO that we really didn't get around to talking about last week because I was too busy blubbering all over the screen. And then, of course, there'll be the Prana bestsellers list, and we're going to do a new final cut.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the final cut. I feel like it's one of those things where we take the old PR for, kind of the promotional engine around FOCs, and we bring it up to date,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, last week we were so busy saying, nice things about all kinds of things, that Tommy made a bunch of really, really great comments, and I think we highlighted a couple of them, but we didn't really focus on them. And just want to say, Tommy, thank you so much he brought me a bottle of bourbon because he knew that I hadn't had bourbon in a while, and he was a mensch at ComicsPRO this year. So yeah, thanks, Tommy.
Seriously, what a fan. I will say that this was the year where I spoke to 6 different people who said they listened to my voice in one form or another every day, which is a little weird. If you're listening, if you're one of those people listening right now, please go mix it up. I have to listen to me every day. I don't like it, but but Tommy, man, what an incredible promoter of what we're doing and all of those shows that we're doing. Thank you, buddy. You're an absolute rock star. So appreciated. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so we did the bestseller list. That's coming along, the final cut, and then I thought let's dig into it. Wanna?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it because we got some serious news to chat.
Awesome.
Oh, before we get there though, everybody go to comicpreviews.com, click that QR code, go to comicpreviews.com, add yourself to the list. We are days away from really, really launching this thing. We rebuilt everything over the last 3 weeks, and I've seen the behind the scenes of what's about to get released. And I've got meetings with some publishers over the next couple of weeks. And man, this is actually the thing that I've been most excited about building, even more so than Managed Comics. Like, this is the customer-facing side of what I think the industry really needs. So go to getcomicpreviews.com and sign up, and you'll find out when we're officially launched very, very soon.
Awesome. I'm so looking forward to this, man. This is so needed. Something else that's needed, I will tell you, you know what? I don't have an issue 1 around anywhere, but we are running classified ads in Comics the Magazine. This is something that was a staple, all pun intended, of our industry for many, many, many years. In fact, look here, I've got a Daredevil number 187 that I bought out of a dollar bin. Yeah, I bought it out of a dollar bin. I was really excited. And if you look in the back here, there are all of these incredible ads that were done back then. Whole businesses were started around classified ads. Our belief is that this is a good place for you to do that as well. Hit 100,000 comics buyers every month by putting a classified ad. It starts at $25, $1 a word. I don't know how this, I mean, the CPM on this is it's better than Facebook right now. That's for sure. So anyway, if you want it, please go ahead and send us I feel like this slide, is it too small? I don't know. Gabe at Prana DM, go ahead and send him a link, because we are putting that together this week. So if you get your classified in this week, it'll be in the very next issue. So
Gabe's going to throw his email address in the chat so that you can get it. If you, let's say that you knew a particularly cantankerous apple juice farmer who was going to put an ad in like that, may be in the next issue. We don't know. We don't know for sure. Just saying. If that apple juice farmer doesn't email this week. That's well, he did. He did already. Oh, allegedly. God. Yeah, he got his copy in. So just saying, there may be. Yeah.
Comics Buyer's Guide Classifieds. I mean, that's where like companies like Mile High Comics. That's where they got their start. I might be asking every guest this week what their classified ad's going to say. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Yeah. Let's go. What's next?
Headlines. Oh, we gotta get hit it, Blake. Oh my gosh, look at poor nobody. He really got nailed.
I love this movie. This is such a good movie. All right, go ahead.
I know, and they've done a sequel. So Paramount is the winner, allegedly.
Maybe. So, we had a guest who was going to help us talk about that this week, and I haven't seen him not seeing him in the green room. All right, well, Tony, if you're watching this next week, man, we'll get you on.
So this is the latest chapter in the ongoing Warner Brothers Discovery. I mean, AT&T, going back to the beginning of time, where it seems like Warner Brothers is a hot potato that's constantly changing from New Line to, my goodness. So when last we left this story, Netflix was about to buy them, and then Paramount swooped in with a better offer, and they had kind of been going back and forth. And ultimately, Netflix pulled out, and so now Paramount is in. This still has regulatory approval that it has to go through, and also California is saying that they're going to make a big deal about this. Not only that, but the EU can also put the kibosh on this because they've got a lot of concerns about it. So this is not by any means done. But this is where we are this week. This week, Paramount is the winner of the great Warner Brothers battle of 2026. Stay tuned for the next chapter when we find out that it's actually PBS that owned it all along. Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, from a comics perspective, DC Comics is part of Warner Brothers. Yeah. There's a lot of questions about that size of a company. Warner Brothers had to go to outside funding. Rumor has it that they have a bunch of Saudi money that is going into it from the Sovereign Wealth Fund. So we'll see.
And I think at this time we've gone through this. I mean, I don't know. You and I have been at this business a long time, my friend. And every time there's one of these mergers or one of these buyouts, there's always these new round of speculation that DC is going to license out their books because this new company is not going to care anything about it. What I will say is that every time this has happened, DC ends up becoming a super valuable asset. and continues to be a super valuable asset. I don't see any reason to suspect that we're going to see that worst case scenario happen. Maybe someday it will, right? All things end at some point. But I still feel like even though it is as I saw one expert talk about it, DC Comics is sort of financially, I'm not a rounding error, but it's insignificant. Culturally, it's incredibly significant. Massively. The value of Warner Brothers, especially going into a movie push as they're going into now. So I'm expecting to see DC come out of this, if not stronger, then at least as strong. I'm not surprised. But
I don't think that there's a long-term effect on DC really, especially when they're as strong as they are right now. If this was, 5-6 years ago, maybe, but man, they're hitting on all cylinders. Nobody wants to kill that golden goose right now. So
exactly.
They're in a good spot.
Yeah. All right.
Gamma. So Gamma's going on right now, and a bunch of different kind of interesting stories are popping out, and they're kind of popping out all over the place. Marvel has a new miniatures game called Crisis Protocol Alliances that has made a debut, and Dungeons and Dragons has made a big kind of roadmap for where they're going in the next little while. There's been a lot of questions about kind of what the future of Dungeons and Dragons is, and as a comic and game store, that's a huge part of your shop. So this is important stuff. So there's a bunch of really interesting news stories coming out of Gamma. I think we'll probably have a lot more to talk about this next week, because things are just starting really, right? Like really gets underway this week.
Yeah, and I think that as Blake points out in the comments, one of the things that really hit hard when we were talking to retailers is just how crucial it is to completely to diversify your product mix in your stores. Obviously, many people are running towards gaming. I know Shannon, who's going to be a guest on the show later today, has a really diverse store just doing comics. Diversity is the key, right? It allows you to like even out the bumps of whatever sales trends are happening.
For sure, especially like often when one channel starts rising, another channel lowers a little bit, and so having a diverse set of products and also like a diverse set of price points and a diverse set of margins. You can't make everything on just MSRP.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, having
very, very true. Yeah,
really important.
Buy collections, sell back issues. I hit that. I bang that drum a lot. I know you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. I know.
I've bought 2 collections now, and I don't really know what to do with them, but I've got 2 collections.
Figure that part out.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've been told.
And there's a CSA has a really great system for selling back.
Okay, moving along. 7 Seas has been bought by, and thanks, Blake. You really helped me out with this logo. 7 Seas was bought by Media Do, which is Japan's largest ebook distribution company, and they provide like digital publishing services. There was a massive controversy because the first press release that went out was from Media Do that said, we believe in AI generation of translations. And then very quickly, 7 Seas sent out a press release that said, and I quote, 7 Seas remains committed to human translators and high editorial standards our readers and creators expect. Nothing about the acquisition changes how we translate our books. So yeah, there was like this little moment where, oh no, oh, it's okay. Oh no. But yeah, it's just interesting. They're like an $80 million sale is significant for a company like 7 Seas. They do a ton of manga. And this company trying to get into print from digital is an interesting kind of way to go.
Yeah, you know way more about this story than I do. This is so far outside of my wheelhouse that I'm really entertained by the AI story. There you go.
Yeah, that's PR for you. PR, crisis communication. All right, let's talk about speculators.
Oh
so there's been a lot of chatter on the various comic retailer boards, which I swear I don't spend a ton of time on. But this always amuses me because in my opinion, every time that we have a healthy market, we're going to see speculation, right? People start gambling on things. My thing has always been like, why don't you turn those speculators into fans? Like, everybody's just, oh, these annoying guys came in and tried to buy my copies of Dork, darn them. And it's just like, well, explain to them that you have a pre-order service. Explain to them that you keep people up to date on this kind of stuff. We saw all this stuff before FOC, and we knew things were going to be hot. I mean, not this level. I've not seen a second printing of a comic hit the level of speculation that this has. And it's like, it's a fun comic, but I don't know that it's a $40 comic week of release. Same thing happened with Nectar and Narco.
Yeah.
Narco, I just looked at that cover and I was like, that's fun. It looks like Invincible. I'll buy a bunch of them. And so I've just got a really, really big red banner on my site that says, this is considered a hot comic right now. Our rule on hot comics is 1 per household. That's it. I don't have to like hunt people down. And the thing says, if you order more than 1, we will cancel your extra copies. That's it. I had a couple people do it the first day, delete the extra copies, send them an email, and they're like, oh, cool, no problem. Like, I don't know. It's just an opportunity to hit new people. And then they're in my database, and now they're getting my weekly emails. Like, I don't understand where the problem is, but, you know, I'm not an old jaded retailer. Maybe that's the problem.
I agree with you, but rather than have the two of us just expound on why we agree with each other, I want to bring to the stage the vice president of ComicsPRO and the owners of Bad City Comics and Comics.
Bad City Comics Professional.
Oh, that's right. It's I want to suggest maybe Comics, Shannon. Maybe a change of the name. I don't know. How do you you at Bat City Comics Professionals, how do you guys think about this new wave of speculators and what they mean to your business?
I mean, I kind of feel like Brian. It's like people who are coming in and discovering this book, like, how can I talk to them about the other things that we have? You know, that's the same thing that happened with Absolute, right? Absolute Batman like blew up. We started talking to them about other books that they could look into, other books by those creators. We actually had this last week, somebody came in on the day that the boxes came in from Lunar, and they asked Katie, our employee, they were like, hey, are those the boxes for next week? Can you just open them up and tell me Dork number 2? And Katie was like, no, but did you hear about the hot book this week, Murder Bots?
That's
like,
awesome.
Did you get that one? Or Murder Drones? She was like, Murder Drones is really hot this week. You should check out that hot book. And the guy was like, I did not hear about Murder Drones. What's that? And so she told him about that book, and he was like, oh, I'll get this one, and I'll see you next week for Dork. Like, it was like she immediately turned the conversation from, you know, from that book that he couldn't have to this other one. And yeah. Are there some people who are like, you know, I see the comment that there's some people who are going to be like angry when we don't have them. You're like, yeah, there's definitely going to be some people who are like, well, why don't you have more copies? Why didn't you know? Like, I saw stores that were like, oh, I only ordered 1 copy of White Sky because I didn't know, like, we didn't know that was going to be the book. And like, that's part of why it heats up, right? Is because it's that low run. But you do your best. Like, we're like, hey, let me get you down for the second print. Let me get you down for the next issue so you don't miss it. Like, I talk about that all the time. Like, hey, if you want to make sure you don't miss the next one, start a subscription, and then explain what a subscription is, because you can't just call me when the hot spec book is out the night before and go, can you put that hot spec book in my box because I have a subscription. Like, that's not how that works either. But
right.
Let's teach you about books. Let's teach you about the process. Let's teach you what a final order cutoff is and how to find that information, from Brian in advance.
I want to bring somebody else to the stage. The head of DCBS, In-Stock Trades, and Lunar Distribution, Ms. Christina Merkler. Christina, why do I get a feeling that you have something to say about this? I just feel like you're ready to go.
I have always thought that speculators are good for the market. Sorry, but I'm sorry, not sorry, actually. Speculators help get people hyped about stuff, and they go into stores looking for stuff that they would have never looked at before. Actually, when I was at ComicsPRO, I was telling Eric Stevenson, and then he kind of joked with me, but I said, I haven't read a comic in probably a year, which is just because I'm so busy, right? Like I really, really try. But I read the first issue of Narco, and I was like, oh, hell yeah. Like I could not wait to see the second issue. And I told him, I said, I really enjoyed it. And he's like, yeah, we we publish a lot of good comics. I was like, I know, I just don't have time to read all of them. But this is one that I'm definitely going to make sure that I'm getting every month as it comes out, because it like roped me right in. But I get things thrown at me all the time, and so do customers, right? So sometimes it's easier for us to sell something like that as a retailer when you have speculators who are helping you with it, because they think 100%. You're just trying to sell it to them, right? Yeah. But if speculators are like, oh my gosh, this is a hot book, it only reinforces your ability to sell it better. And I'm sure Shannon would probably agree.
I think that's very, very true. We did I will not to harp too much on our previous project, but at Bad Idea, we really did work with the speculators to try and get everybody excited about our new comics, because that was the one of the people that we could get run into there. But we got so much criticism because it was only speculators. I don't think it was. We were making really great books. A lot of people were buying them and reading them and telling us they read them. And for me, I know that, as a kid, I bought, like, we did not have a whole lot of disposable income. So I really enjoyed comics. I've loved comics my whole life, but it wasn't until I thought, oh, I can buy this and maybe resell it for more, that it justified me buying it. I never resold it, but, I still bought Death in the Family. That's how old I am, thinking that I was going to sell it again. I think that there is something there. And every time I see a certain generation of retailers being so angry at speculators, it always, I don't know, kind of rubs me wrong. However you come in the door, I guess is my point. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what turned me into a retailer was being a speculator. Like back in the day, back in the 90s, I was buying early Cerberus from Now and Then Books in Kitchener, driving them to Port Huron, picking up Faust, bringing them back. My mom was convinced I was a drug dealer. I was a smuggler of sorts. I was just smuggling comics from one nation to the other. So yeah, like that kind of stuff got me into it. And yeah, it helped kind of cement my fandom, right? Like this could be a business. It's not just something that's fun that I shove into a drawer and never look at again.
All right. Yes, that actually does segue, since we all were talking about ComicsPRO, the ComicsPRO. Let's talk about the ComicsPRO exclusives going for insane amounts of money.
Have you seen these things? Dark Knight Returns, signed by Frank Miller and Klaus Janson, $500 to $1,000. The most of the sales recently are $500. Exquisite Corpses, the little game package they were selling, giving away, $250. Mask number 1, $50. Terminal sets are going for $110 to $120. Rocketeer Island, $100. V Friends 13, $100. When I Was Bad is running for $200. Murder Drones preview is $50, and there was a Something Is Killing the Children that I've seen selling multiple times for $50. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. And these are like today and yesterday sales too. Like these were not, usually the day after ComicsPRO, you see massive spikes in sales of a lot of these things. But this is like a week or two later, and we're still seeing numbers like this, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Well, this does transition us. Let's go ahead and lose the slides. This does transition us to a couple of things that happened over ComicsPRO. Christina, I want to bring to the stage somebody who you announced you are going to be distributing, our folks at Yen Press and a couple others. Talk about what other announcements you made, and bringing to the stage Morgana. Welcome to the stage.
Hi. Hello.
So what else did you guys talk about, Christina? And then we can hear from Morgana about that.
We talked about Yen Press and Viz Media. So we will be getting Viz through Simon & Schuster. And we're going to start soliciting those probably June for August is when we'll be doing that. Yep.
Ah, fantastic.
Yeah.
And before we hit, Morgana, I'll come back to Christina. I just realized, you know what? We really should do some prep work for this show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You know, it'd be nice. Maybe
I didn't know Morgana was coming, so that was exciting.
Yeah, well, we had a conversation about it. There's a Discord channel. Anyway, so Morgana, tell us about you. I mean, this is not Yen Press's first time in the direct market. Talk about how that distribution has changed for you over the course of Diamond, because I know that your Yen Press having issues with Diamond was one of the early signals that something was really wrong there, right?
Yeah, we had kind of noticed that there were some issues. For a while, we weren't even really getting that many orders, and it kind of was like something's going on here. But yeah, it's been really interesting. Kind of living in this post-Diamond world and getting, I mean, Mark and I were both getting emails from retailers we know. We're like, what do we do? There's no previews anymore. Where do we have a rep? I don't know what's going on. With it through HBG. And I know that a lot of retailers at ComicsPRO said that Lunar's going to be really great for them because they could get a Hachette account, of course. That is an option available. But it is nice for a lot of them to be able to order all their things kind of in one place, kind of like what they were used to with Diamond. It becomes a lot more complicated when you're going with Hachette and Simon & Schuster and Penguin Random House, and you're trying to kind of maximize your order as much as possible. It's nice for them to be able to have kind of a one or two hubs they can go to and get exactly what they're looking for. And it was very nice to hear that they wanted a lot of our books. Not as nice to hear that they hadn't been able to get a lot of our books. So,
yeah, no kidding. What do you expect, Christina? Now that you're adding these folks, how do you expect that to be a shifting our sales in the direct market?
Well, I mean, we've wanted to put, we've wanted to get manga in, but we've had a warehouse capacity issue for the last year. And we solved some of it, and then a couple of publishers solved it for us by going to PRH. It's just like, oh, okay, well, now we have space to finally do that. We've been looking at Yen Press for the last year, but they have a lot of books. They have a lot of new solicit. I mean, Matt is all about it, and I think that the average is 71 titles, so that's quite a bit. And that's not anything that's manageable. It's the backlist of those other 71 titles, right? So that's where we want to do it right, and we've been wanting to do it right. Because we don't want to just do new solicits and then not have any of the backlist available. So it's been a very mindful way in which we want to bring them on so that we do it right and our customers understand what to expect. And what they can expect is that we're going to hold backlists, which is something Diamond really was never very great at. And I can say that as a retailer, right? So we had a hard time because they would just solicit things just randomly, and then they wouldn't keep any of them in stock. And so we never knew. Then it was the problem with, okay, now I have to go get a Hachette. So it was, we're hoping to do this a little better and to keep as much of what's in print in stock that we can.
Excellent. I can tell you that manga has become such a, obviously it is a huge portion of the sales. And I think one of the biggest things that has happened with this new generation of kids coming up, as we talked about a lot, from the Dogman generation through manga into the comic shops themselves, having that, it's almost like having manga in the shops is something that will make them more comfortable when they arrive, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's what your diversification of product is, right? Like if you get manga, you get a different customer base coming in the door.
Yeah, I was former manager of Comicopia in Boston, and they have a reputation of having always had a large manga section. And it's true. You get kind of I feel like we had two major clientele. There was the kind of, guys who'd been coming to Comicopia for 25 years, getting their single issues in their pull. And then there were the young people. We were close to, they're close to Boston University and Berkeley. And so they would get, kind of college age students who, some of which were getting the hot new Image book, but a lot of whom were like, where's my next volume of One Piece or whatever. So yeah, I think you kind of broaden and then you can kind of cross-pollinate, right? Because there are things that I think can bridge the gap in both directions. You just gotta like work at it a little bit sometimes.
You actually have to know how to sell stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely helps that, even before I was there, Matt at Comicopia always had staff who knew manga, read manga, and Western comics, and were able to kind of bridge that gap. When I got there, they actually had a section, I took it down, but they actually had a section called Manga for People Who Hate Manga for the longest time. So, but it was true. There were books that you could pretty easily sell to somebody who was not so sure they liked manga because all they knew about was, Naruto, Pokemon, right, whatever. But you show them Berserk and they're like, oh, wait, maybe there's something else going on here,
Right.
So.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you. So what do you, aside from that, what were your biggest takeaways from, I'm going to cycle through some folks now. We're going to talk about some kind of post ComicsPRO aftermath, as it were. What do you two think, Morgan, let's start with you. What do you think were the biggest takeaways from this year's ComicsPRO?
Oh man, I mean, for us at Yen and for me personally, it's been really gratifying to see the growth of manga. Obviously, that's the kind of my focus. I started going to ComicsPRO. I want to say my first one was in 2017 as a retailer. And now I'm doing it from the other side. And I remember at that point, there was a lot of pushback about, well, I can't stock manga. It doesn't sell. I can't sell it. And like Christina was saying, you got to know how to sell it. And it's very different now. And I was really gratified to hear a couple retailers, thank us for some of the programming we did last year. And thank you, Shannon, for putting the education stuff together at ComicsPRO. I co-taught a class with Morgan from Square Enix and Ivan from Kodansha and River from Goblin Market in Chicago, where we talked about how to curate a manga section. And I had a couple people come up to me and tell me that was really helpful, and they were able to take that advice and apply it, and manga's doing great for them. So I don't know, I felt really good after this ComicsPRO. It felt really hopeful, and I know it was a big one, the biggest one yet. And it's just great to see that despite everything in the world, comics are still a happy place.
Oh yeah, there you go. You mentioned her name, so let's bring her to the stage once again, Miss Shannon Live. So Shannon, what do you think? What are the biggest pieces that you saw this week, and special points if they were from, or not this week, that week? It's all blending together. My God, I am not recovered. ComicsPRO, what do you think? What were the biggest pieces for you?
Well, and I have such a completely different experience at ComicsPRO than most people, because I'm running around in circles, trying to make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be, or finding the things they should be. But it's such a cool thing. It was such a cool thing to see this year because it was so big. There was so much like education on Wednesday this year. I've been trying to push more and more education to that Wednesday, that first day that people arrive. And we had 2 workshops and a class and lightning talks on that. And I had one class that was not even standing room only. Like, there was no more room to even stand in it. That's on Wednesday, which was really exciting to see. And it was really awesome to see people wanting to go to those classes all week long and coming up and being like, oh my gosh, like, can we have this class again next year? Can we have, we had so many classes too from the years before that were already requested again to come back this year. And I'm like, we're trying to get as many different topics that people are requesting all year long into the conference. And so it's so great. And it's so great to see all the people who, like Morgana, who step up and are like, hey, can I do that? We had Jason Blanchard teach physical and digital security for your store. And I literally was like, this is the, if you want to be terrified, like go to this panel. Like,
but he does a great job of that.
He's gonna like scare you into doing the right thing for your store. And so it was really great. But honestly, for me, it was great to see how many publishers just brought so many new things, so many awesome experiences, with, Frank and Klaus, with David Dashmalshin just randomly being like, hey, can I sign? And I was like,
so cool.
Yeah, like absolutely. And he was like, that's awesome. They were like, can he do it after he speaks? And I'm like, that's the same time that Todd McFarlane asked if he could randomly sign, but we can make it work. It'll be awesome. Everybody, you're gonna meet everybody you ever wanted to, like at this random time in the hallway. It's gonna be great. Oh my gosh, yes, the In-N-Out truck, that was fantastic. But
that was amazing.
It was so cool to see like publishers just working together to bring stuff, allying like to make things bigger and better. It was so good to see all the people just wanting to do stuff. And then at the end of the day, for me, the thing that's always awesome is just seeing how many retailers like want to learn, want to grow, want to network with each other, want to like build that. And he's always in the chat, but Tommy and Rob Kalen, who was just like, I literally at one point had a guy who was like, this is my first time. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Am I late? Am I early? Am I in the wrong place? What's going on? And I was like, sounds like you need a buddy. Let me introduce you to Rob. And Rob was like, I'm always happy to be a buddy. Let me take you around. And just like became like the buddy program that we're now launching, like flew out of that from just handing
That's
people
awesome.
to Tommy and Rob and be like, these are the nicest humans. They will take you around. And just kind of seeing people just welcome new people and people they've never met and just become like instant friends is just all of my favorite things.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like, as we said in the pre-show banter, it is the church camp. It's the church camp for those of us who are too old for church camp now.
Did anybody notice the demographic shift this year? Because I noticed a lot more young people. Like a couple of years ago was kind of one of the middle of the road people in the room, and this year I was definitely one of the older people, and I love that. Like I think that's so exciting.
Do you have any numbers on that, Shannon? I haven't actually heard any about attendees or anything.
Not yet. We should have all of that. Everybody's getting back and getting organized with all their numbers and stuff. So we'll have that meeting for things of that nature in the next week. But yeah, Joe and Tommy are talking about it. We became a certified hackers and accountants and everything. All of this week. It just, we learned so many cool things, but it was a great show, and it was so good to see just how many new people are even hearing about it and coming. We saw a lot of new stores that were like, I've never been, and I'm signing up, and I hope this is useful. And then having them come up and saying like, yes, this is so much what I was hoping for was just great.
Yeah, awesome. I like this comment. I think I needed a buddy for a first time. I will tell you, as now a 4-time veteran, it's overwhelming. Like, a buddy's not going to help that. But yeah.
Easiest one, Stacey. So you like jumped in on you jumped feet first into one of the biggest ComicsPRO extravaganzas that we've had. We had so many things get just added in. Like people were just like, what if I do this? And I'm like, what if you did? And we'll make it work. It'll be fine. And shout out to the board, because there was just so many great ideas that came from them. So many great ideas that people threw at us that we figured out how to make work. And it's so different. Like to grow the conference the way it grew, so like in the last couple of years, has just been really cool to see everybody kind of like pitch in, and even non-board members who are like, hey, can I help? I want to once again shout out to like Jessica from Crooked Dog, who was like, hey, I know how to do headshots, can I just do them? And I was like, yes.
That was cool.
Yeah. Everybody needs a headshot. We never have them when people say, send me a headshot for this panel. So it's nice to see that people who are just throwing their skills out there and being like, let me be a part of it.
I want to bring to the stage some people who have become incredibly important to our industry and were the beneficiaries of one of my favorite parts about ComicsPRO, the annual auction. Welcome to the stage, Judy and Kathy from Bing.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, thanks.
Hi.
We're here laughing and smiling. We're like, it was an amazing show.
Amazing
show.
Congratulations. The work you put in was just truly paid off. It was so great.
Yeah, great. Amazing, Shannon. Just smooth.
Yeah. Glad to be part of it.
Yeah. And one of our favorite parts was the auction, and shout out to Mariah for pulling that together and all the donations.
All the donations. Oh my gosh, there were so many great ones.
Give Till It Hurts is one of I'm like, I hope nobody got hurt too much. They give a lot. It's like I don't want to hurt anybody, but yeah,
that one always hurts a little when I go to pay the bill at the end of the night.
The bourbon probably
a good idea.
Though, right? A little alcohol helps, though.
Well, so many things that you see on the walls of this office.
Thanks to Yen and Kodansha for doing that open bar.
Yeah.
That was helpful, I think.
That was very helpful. I think that was,
coincidentally during the auction.
Right.
So thanks
to
for
ease
that,
the
Morgana.
pain, right? So yeah.
Yeah, of course. It was great to partner with Kodansha on that. I think, one of the nice things about ComicsPRO, and I think about comics in general, is it feels like we all want everything to succeed, right? We all want, Bink to succeed. We want ComicsPRO to succeed. We want our fellow retailers and publishers to succeed. So it feels collaborative. It does. It feels like church camp. It feels like everybody's singing Kumbaya, but maybe they're wearing a superhero cape while they're doing it. So,
we really believe so much in it. Oh yeah, there we go.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't mean to step on you there, but yeah, $65,000, which I believe last year wasn't it like 41,000?
Yes.
So we crushed it this year. It was super exciting.
And
just really exciting.
That number will be a little higher. So
right.
That's awesome.
We've got that was a good estimate. It was what? 61
when we left. Yeah, when we left, it was 61. So you guys have been doing some work. So that was the live auction raised 61, right, Shannon? And then it's going to go up because the silent auction is still closing and things are still happening.
So as that silent auction finalizes, as Mariah finalizes all those numbers, you will see a press release soon about what that number actually is.
And there were some
So much.
Yeah, there were some bigger ticket items in the silent auction too, so that's pretty exciting.
I will also say I don't want to talk out of turn for anybody, but I will say that I heard from people that are very important to me who have relied on Bink this year, and that work that you guys do is just, I don't know, it just wrenches my heart open when I think about it. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Absolutely. There was another chant that was going on during the auction that was new to me. And make Judy cry.
Oh my gosh. There was a cry counter at one point.
Judy cry.
Cry meter. Yeah, there was a cry meter. I love it.
Yeah. And the reason I was I was watching those numbers, and like the week before, $695 got somebody's electricity turned back on. So like when I saw something go for 700, I'm like, that's electricity. And then we had somebody who needed desperately to be in a safe spot and they couldn't afford it. And that was around $2,500. So when things creaked up to that, I'm like, that's another one. So I'm crying because I remember the people I talked to, and every one of those things when they sold, I'm like, I know what that grant's like. I know what that's going to be
It's
like.
gonna help another person.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, Judy, your speech made me cry. So, because I didn't realize, I knew that Bink did, disaster relief and stuff, but some of the things that you were talking about, I had no idea, and I think it's amazing. You're kind of living the dream. You can help people with no strings attached, and then it's amazing that we can help with that.
Thank you. And I think a lot of people know us as for like bad weather stores close, COVID stores close. But for every store that we help, fires,
the LA
hurricane.
fires, that was a big time when everybody got to know who we were. Yeah.
There's 8 individual people for every big disaster. Whenever you see it in the news, you're like, oh, Bing's helping that store. We're probably helping at least another 8 people for every store. An average week, which is not average anymore. 5 years ago, the number would be 7 people calling for help a week. Many weeks, I hit 20 to 25 people every week.
Who are going through like a major crisis in their life.
Yeah.
And Judy talks to every single person. She talks to every single person, and she figures out a way to help them get through it and get their household finances back on track. That's what she's an expert at doing.
Yep, we can do that. We can do that.
Yeah. So how much did you distribute last week in emergency financial assistance last week? What did you give out?
In the last rolling 7 days, it's been a little over $20,000 in 7 days. And we were busy. We were in Pittsburgh for part of that.
We were in LA with you guys. So this all the work that you guys put together for this auction and to bring everybody together is it's incredibly meaningful for us. And it goes right to work. When we say, we can say it goes right to work. You're helping people this week from all the goodwill you did last week. So thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
And Shannon, we were able to not only get 7 people there on scholarships.
Oh, right.
Thanks to
Yeah,
that's huge. That's an extra 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
But we did double the amount of the scholarship because we know for people traveling across the country, $750 wasn't doing it. So we doubled that, and then we got that surprise from the two of them from Comic Connection. We were able to make that even more because we knew that being at CompcsPRO is going to be transformative for comic retailers, and we know that it's professional development they can get no place else. So impressed with the classes and everything that you had done. But we also did something new. We did that heads or tails.
Yeah.
And somebody won $500. Andrea did. I'm not going to give a last name. I'm not sure I should. But Andrea did, and that was a surprise too. So
and that was super fun. And y'all raised an additional $1,127. So that helps another person with just that fun little game with those silly little flashing things. So all in all, it was just it was so great. We just can't thank you.
I think Adam could have bought more though.
Oh,
I think he could. I'm pretty sure.
You know what? There's 2. I realize we're in 2 little bits of the people who bring to the screen. I wish we had this really well thought out. It tends to just be kind of random. But I will say there are 2 people on the screen that made me think about that auction. One is Christina, from whom I won that piece right there. I went toe to toe with her and spent way more than I really should.
Oh, Christina has one too.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
there it is.
Came up with a second one after that. It was so irritating. It's not that I wanted to take it from her. It's just that I enjoyed winning. And second is Shannon. Your first ComicsPRO was as someone who received one of those scholarships, right?
Yes, I got to go to ComicsPRO for the first time in person, thanks to Bink. So it's hugely impactful. And you're right. I had found ComicsPRO during the year that they were online from COVID, and I wanted to be a part of the organization. And then they did the next year online again, and so I did the online again. Ironically, we did the first one I did do with no power and in the dark, because that was during the ice storm in Austin. So I guess I wish I would have known about Bink then too. No, that was an Austin power grid problem, not an us problem. That as a former Texan himself, Adam knows the love of the power grid in Texas during a storm. But we had just moved to our entire store from Austin to Florida the year that ComicsPRO actually went back in person, and I really wanted to go. We had used our entire our personal life savings to move everything. And I was like, I'm going to apply for this scholarship, and getting to go and getting to just walk into a room with people and meet people who I had seen on the internet. I had heard of their stores forever. I had been, reading the books that they created for years, and just them treating me like a peer was it's such an incredible experience. And I remember Judy walking up to me and hugging me, and I was like, well, this is the best place ever, and this is the best human that I will ever meet. And it's
truly,
I still believe that. So it's such a wonderful thing, and it's so great that y'all do that. And yes, again, shout out to Django and Jeff for adding to it this year. When Django called me and asked if he and Jeff could give scholarships, I was like, let me get you in touch with Kathy and Judy, because that needs to happen. Like, it's amazing.
It's great. That was great. Yeah, 7 people. So it was fantastic. Yeah. Thank you.
I think we're going to make it even more next year, so we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Can we shout out to Dan Crary, because that
man, my gosh, right? Yes,
extraordinaire. Like we are seeing part of why we see these great numbers is because Dan really pumps it up in that room, and so I just want to give a shout to Dan, who has stepped in and just become the man of the hour at that auction, just pushing those numbers higher.
Yeah, he's a great auctioneer. Oh my goodness.
That was quite the dynamic duo on stage. Dan Tyne were just amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was and that dress was amazing. I'm just
saying. God damn.
Yeah.
It was all good.
Awesome. Well, we do want to get to a few more things. I do want to hear from you, everybody on the stage. If there's any other takeaways that you had from this year's ComicsPRO, really that you think are going to be the most impactful long term, right? So, Morgana, thank you so much for coming on. I wanted to say incredible finally to have you on, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do. So I'm going to start removing people from the stage as we get I'm going
to say too that we should do like this is 6 weeks of episodes. We can do episodes with individual people, and I think we definitely should, because this is all this is a good crew to talk to.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Morgana, thank you. All right. Let's do Christina first. What do you think? Biggest takeaway from this year? What do you think is the longest impact of things that are announced or things that happened, what you saw at ComicsPRO this year?
I think the best thing that came out of ComicsPRO that was added this year was the introduction of creators being a part of it, in a more whatever way. But the reason why is because most retailers love to be friendly with creators. They like to have that individual FaceTime. I've heard from so many people that are big football fans, whatever. They never would be able to meet their favorite quarterback, right? But they certainly can meet their favorite writer or favorite artist. And I think that was a big thing that should continue. And it also helps to build the excitement for retailers, because they get to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak, instead of a salesperson from the publisher. And I think those salespeople are all great, and the teams are all great, and the marketing teams. But when you hear it from the creator themselves, it always goes a little further.
I absolutely agree. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to bring you back if you're ready, if you want, for our top 400 when we start talking.
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. Judy.
Yeah. I want to add one.
I want to say one of the most exciting things I don't know enough about, but I got to hear Shannon announce the comic retail certification that they're starting this year. And I think that is just going to change everything going forward. I was so impressed with that.
Very impressed.
Yeah. That's going to be the thing above everything. I mean, 65,000, it was pretty which one will I say? But I think long lasting, that's going to have real legs. Shannon, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Judy. Oh my gosh, guys, Judy just told me she's proud of me, so I'm going to go cry. So.
Yeah.
Judy, before you bring on, did I lose? Oh yeah, I want to bring in another guest. She's I don't even know what her title is. Ignition. I think she is the ignition under ignition. She's the spark that starts that engine.
Spark.
There you go.
I agree.
How's
Hi,
that?
folks. Hi.
And for clarity, Adam, I am the director of marketing at Ignition.
Oh, that's so boring. Ignition of Ignition, I think is better.
I like that spark.
The spark that starts the engine. Yeah.
I appreciate you. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to get to talk to everybody and see Judy and Kathy and Shannon and Brian and you, Adam. It's great.
Oh, thanks for coming. It's been such a packed show that this is one of those parties that I realized I was inviting too many people, and then realized, all right, we'll just make the room bigger. It's fine.
You know what? Let's just move around a couple of plates, and the more the merrier.
Exactly.
Right.
We're going to get into one of my highlights that was involved with you in this particular this year, but I would love to hear, before we hear from Judy and Nancy. Judy and Nancy? Who's Nancy? I don't know. Why is she not here? I don't know. What was your favorite part of this year's ComicsPRO? Free.
Oh, me, my favorite part. Oh,
yeah,
man.
favorite.
My absolute favorite, honestly, is just being in the room with a bunch of comics nerds and having a great time and working to get more readership and working to help retailers and getting comics in the hands of readers. Like, to me, that's the most important thing. We all want the same thing. Like, that's all we're trying to do is sell comics. That's all we want to do. And we're doing it together.
Absolutely. And I think it does that feeling of camaraderie, that feeling of having a group that you're coming back to all of your best friends once a year, that camp atmosphere. It really does feel that way. We're all in this to sell comics, and it takes all of us together pushing in that direction. Yeah.
I literally always make the joke from, High School Musical. We're all in this together, but we are. Like, we literally are. It's not pie, you guys. Like, reading is reading, and like however that happens, I think that's awesome.
And I think the number of new people who come into the shops this year alone is an indicator that it's not a finite market. This is not a zero-sum game. Okay, it looks like we lost Kathy, but Judy, what do you think long term? Do you think the things that happened this year at ComicsPRO, what do you think is the most impactful of what's happening this year? You don't have to have an answer.
I'm comic adjacent.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I think the willingness to listen to everybody and to grow and involve the other retailers. It's not just, Marco's great, but it's not just Marco anymore. And it's not just Marco and the board. It is everybody that attended all brought something unique that made it what it was. And watching that continue to compound and grow is going to be really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd absolutely agree with that. All right, we have to make room on the screen for something.
Let me go.
Thank you
so much, Judy.
I'm looking forward to seeing you next month. Speaking of Marco, I'm sure that'll be announced later.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
All right. You know what, Shannon? I'm going to let you stick around for this one. I really want to hear what you think is the biggest long-term impact, but one of my highlights this year is our good buddy Charles pulls together. He drives in from Texas to California with speakers and karaoke equipment. And after hours, there's this suite that if you don't know where it is, or this room, we won't call it suite. If you don't know where it is, you don't get to participate. But if you do know where it is, you get to see things like this. Let's try. We've never actually played a video.
I don't know if it'll work, but we'll see.
Let's see if this works.
Are we hearing music?
Oh, no.
This is the greatest and best song in the world. Tribute.
Aww. That sucks. Next time.
It is one of my favorite parts of the entire week. Yeah, we'll figure
a
out.
Long time ago, me and my brother Adam here.
That's amazing.
Filling it in.
Next time we'll get it with the audio.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I will say though that this is that has become one of the highlights for me. I end up staying up way too late because there's so much fun getting in there. You asked me to dance this year. That was the weirdest moment of my career. Yes, so there you go. It was a ton of fun. And I absolutely think that Shannon, you are like one of the people that is leading this charge towards that kind of camaraderie. Right? I mean, I feel like that it feels like it's an intentional thing of that. It's not just everybody getting boozy, right?
No,
Am I getting wrong by that?
I actually, it's funny because everybody last year was like, how drunk were you to sing break stuff? And I'm like, I didn't have a drop to drink. Like, that's just my go-to karaoke song. Like, guys, you could, like, you don't have to, like, it doesn't have to be, boozy fun. It just has to be fun. It needs, we're all about just making that space for everybody. And I know, like you said, if you don't know where it is, like, our goal is to make sure everybody knows where those things happen. Like, we're trying so hard to get that word out there for those kinds of things, because we saw that, so many times in the past when we go, everybody goes off site, and there's that moment where it's like, oh, I didn't know, like, a few years ago in Pittsburgh, a bunch of people went after the auction to karaoke, and everybody, like, the next day was like, oh, I would have gone if I would have known. And it's like, we want to try to keep pushing the things, like, hey, like, there's so much, like, hey, that's why we're dropping, like, the publisher parties and things in there. We're trying to set up meetups, and because we all feel that way. There was a day where I was like, I walked downstairs and I was like, I don't have a dinner plan. And Matt was like, we don't have dinner plans. No. I was like, did anybody ask us to do dinner? Am I wrong? Did we have dinner plans? And he's like, no, we don't have dinner plans at all. And I was like, oh. And so I walked downstairs because I was like, well, I don't have dinner plans, and everybody's got stuff. Like, I'm like texting a couple of people. I was like, you know what? This is done. I walked downstairs and I just went up to, like, the first person I saw, and I was like, what are you doing for dinner?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, a bunch of us are going to eat. And I was like, cool, where are we going? Like, now, that said, it was Shannon Merritt, who was the easiest person to invite herself along to their thing. But I was like, I want to have a friend. I want to have dinner. I eat dinner with Matt every day. I want to eat dinner with, we need to eat dinner with more people. And so it was like, who can we make friends with in this moment? And so I literally was like, I'm going to invite myself to somebody's dinner. I just don't know which one. And it's how do we build that? How do we get other people to be that comfortable?
That's what that is, It's like, that's where those relationships get built, Shannon. Like, I got to know you through things like that. And like, getting to do those after hours things, you get the opportunity to meet other industry folks that you would never get the chance to meet otherwise. And it's so important. It's just, to me, like, the after hour stuff is just as important as the stuff that's happening during ComicsPRO as well, because that's how we all get to know each other and meet cool people.
And it's how you get to know that you are people. That was a big thing for me. That's part of why I like to go and talk to people in those settings, is because the only way that people see me most of the day is me saying, hey, here's how you build a handbook, or here's how you train your employees, or this is how you do this. And it's like, hey, also at the end of the day, I'm also a shop owner. I'm also a huge nerd. I read 77 books on Sunday, like 77 comic issues on Sunday. I want to talk about them other than just to the blank internet camera screen that I'm staring at. I want to talk to people who also probably read at least half of those books at some point. And so it's so great to go to dinner, go to an ignition party, go stand outside by a food truck, go to even just hang out in the lobby. I think somebody mentioned that earlier. I think it was Joe. Like, just hanging out in the lobby and being friends with people, and getting to know people through those things, I think is, you don't necessarily get to know them when you're sitting next to them listening to somebody else talk, but when you get to hear them talk, you do.
I want to bring somebody to the stage here who, one, is one of those friends that I think has become, a lifelong member of my network, the people that we work with on a day-to-day basis, and has apparently some opinions on how to make karaoke even bigger. Stuart Strackworthy of Dark Horse Comics.
Hello. Yeah, why not put the karaoke on the big stage? If it's turning into an event or a bigger room or anything, what have you.
That's a great idea, actually.
Love that. They don't, you have to be out of those big rooms by a certain time.
Right. Get another one.
We'll have to figure out some way to, like, I would love to have an actual, like, night that's like just like a karaoke night. Like, that would be so awesome, because it seems now, after the last 2 years, it seems that karaoke is, definitely the thing where everybody is like, I want to go.
That room is so packed.
Yeah, and so now I think we know that now we need some more space for karaoke.
For sure.
I think we just need bigger space in general. I think that was one of the biggest takeaways I got from this year, was the number of publishers and other sponsors, including myself, who were told, maybe you can't don't go into the big room, or don't eat the meals, or whatever. Like, we were like, whoa, we paid for this. Obviously, there's a limit to how many people can be in any given room, but like it's apparently
This
we're going to
year
need
was
a bigger boat.
room, and that was something that we're locked into these contracts that we do the 2 years in the same space every time, and it was like we did not. I don't think anybody, publishers, retailers, anybody anticipated the growth rate from even last year to this year, and the amount of publishers who, in the last after they were like, oh, we're bringing 2 people, we're suddenly like, actually, can I bring these 4 creators too? Or can I bring this other person? Stuart raises his hand. I wasn't calling you out, Stuart.
2, 6, 8. Yeah.
It's like, well, obviously we want to have that, but also not only was it that, but we suddenly have, like we said, new store owners and long-term store owners who are like, hey, I haven't been to ComicsPRO in a decade, but you know what? From what I saw from the last couple of years, it looks like it's a different, a new experience and something I don't want to miss out on. And so we went from fitting into that room last year to suddenly being like, oh my God, we're extremely over capacity, rapidly, overnight, with all these things, and there's still people adding more stuff. And so I want to, that's the thing now is that's my takeaway too, is how do we grew and we're still growing, and it's not, maybe if we go to another city, it won't be an exponential growth on this year, but it's not going to go away either. It's like when AS-15 spikes up in value, it doesn't go back down when you stop having a Spider-Man movie in the theater. It still stays there. We're at the point where maybe we're not going to spike there's a new release, but we're still going to see that consistent number and that consistent growth because of everything that y'all are doing. Not just what we're doing, but to everything that y'all are doing, the buy-in from the publishers and the creators and the distributors for the support to the retailers. It's showing that symbiotic relationship has grown even stronger, and I think it's going to just keep getting bigger and bigger.
So,
all right.
I've been spending the last hour nodding along with you guys because everything was so true. I was at ComicsPRO 1. I've been at ComicsPRO from the beginning. I think I only missed a few at Pittsburgh or COVID or between jobs. Last year, I was nose pressed up against the glass, wanting to be there. And I got to go to a few parties, which was wonderful. And people were happy to see me then and ask me what the heck was going on with Diamond. But this year, it was so great to be back. And yeah, the big takeaway is that this is the party of the season. This is the opening gala of the season. This is an event that everyone wants to be at. Publishers, creators. Oh my gosh, it was so great to see the exhibit hall on Wednesday night and all the programming on Wednesday, where we were told, oh, the official start is Thursday. It's like, oh no, it is not.
Yeah, no,
it's absolutely starting on Wednesday. And I was saying, it is a bit of a love fest, and it is, it was great to be at ComicsPRO and get the support of the retailers, them happy to me be back, but also them happy I'm at Dark Horse and helping Dark Horse and them knowing that we're going to go in the right direction now. But ComicsPRO, and these type of things, it's always LobbyCon and the deals and conversations and people's friendships are being made in the hallways and at the parties and stuff. So
100%.
That's my spiel.
We really, speaking of being over capacity, we are way over time and we still have so much to do. Shannon, before we leave this segment, hang on just a second. Before we leave this segment, what do you think is the longest lasting impact of this year's event? What do you think is going to be the takeaway from here on out?
I do think that the growth of people seeing this as the conference to kick off the year and the conference to be at is going to be the thing that continues to grow the most from here.
Awesome. Bree, what about you?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to agree with Shannon. Like it's
Mhm.
it's the thing that, like, I mean, why wouldn't you agree with Shannon? Shannon's always right.
Yeah.
I mean, but literally, like, it's the kickoff. It's like the thing that gets started. Like, it is always in my list of things that I must do as like convention touch points. And it's not a convention, it's a conference, but literally, like, it is the start of my con season when we're figuring out what to do. So like it sets the tone. Like it's just great. You get a lot of really good information.
Yeah. Stuart, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with them. It's a great opportunity for retailers to connect with with publishers to connect with the retailers. It's not the time to read solicitation text, which I've noticed they weren't doing. It's great to make announcements, B2B messaging, get the feedback. And there was a lot of that this year. And really to have, talking to Marco and to hear that there were waiting lists to get in and into the place. And the creators want to be there and they understand it's important. We had Zach Kaplan sit at every roundtable to talk about his projects. And I think that helps. Beginning of the year and a little bit of the world on fire, but our house is strong and it's nice to see the support that the retailers are giving themselves and the industry.
Very true. Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming. We did have another segment that we were planning on dropping into this week's episode that we're going to push to another episode because, frankly, we're already over time.
You're just going to have us all back, Adam. It's fine.
We're
going to have us all back.
Was that my segment? Like, am I done?
Yeah, yours. The little bit of lore about.
We're gonna. You know what? We'll do a full lore episode because there's a number of people that we could do kind of similar things to what your story is, and I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
All
right. I'm gonna kick the publishers out of the room so that we can talk about sale figure. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate you coming by.
Thanks so much.
Okay, Shannon, and let's bring. Is she still here? Is Christina still here?
Yeah, she's still here.
Hey, Christina, welcome back. Hi. Let's talk about the Prana bestseller list. So this is an ongoing project that we've been working on for several years now. This is right now. It is our gathering together the sales data that we get from the POS systems and sort of POS systems of Managed Comics and Comic Shop Assistant. We're able to see some pre-order sales data, we're able to see subscription data, and we're able to see on-sale data. Today, we're going to be looking at last week's on-sale data, so that this is the actual products that went through POS systems, through to comic shops, single issue sales for the entire freaking industry. All right, let's take a look. This is the cohort. This is how we distinguish ourselves. Over 500. I think we're actually close to 600 stores, and I believe we're closer to 80,000 consumers at this point. So 60. These are some older numbers we didn't get a chance to update, but this is growing every single week as these systems grow and as other people come on to help us kind of flesh this out. Why is that important? Because when you have a very small cohort, what you're looking at, one store can really set the entire number, all the numbers off. But when you put this many stores together, it's nearly impossible. You get a much better look at how the comics are selling into the stores. So let's look at them. This.
Look at that.
My
That's
God.
A horse race right there. That's a photo finish.
So
there hasn't been a horse race like that in a long time.
In a very long time. Right. DC has been leading. Although we've had weeks, Christina, where Marvel jumps way out ahead, but DC has just been keeping them at arm's length for so long. Image coming in almost like clockwork at 12 and a half. They generally are in that 12 to 14 range these days on these numbers. Let's see. Who do we have? We have Dark Horse and Ignition both on this list. I hope you guys are watching. Welcome back. Dynamite doing their thing. Oni Press, man, we keep talking about what an incredible turnaround that business is. And Titan and Dark Horse, Boom, all coming in at just under 1%. So a nice grouping of people. Does this indicate what you guys are seeing, Christina and Shannon? Let's start with you, Christina.
Yes. For DCBS, IST, Dynamite, and IDW are switched, but it's pretty close. And then Titan and Oni are switched. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And then once again, it goes to like, even a somebody as big as DCBS, like even you have a much different view than the whole run, right? If you look at everybody together. Shannon, how does this work? How does this compare to what you're seeing and what you're hearing?
Well, from what I'm seeing, I always say we're an anomaly store. I have an insane amount of like indie books that have higher subscriptions than some Marvel books. Like I have as many subscribers to Toxic Avenger as I do to like any X-Men title. And so we're an anomaly in that sense, but we're seeing massive sales with DC as everybody else is, with not just the absolutes but in general. But for us, Ignition is much higher than that on the list. For us, we have a minimum start point for every title from Ignition of 15 subs, and it works up from there because we have a huge Ignition following here at our store. But we are seeing, we see a lot of traction in those things. So for us, I would say like Ignition comes right under Image. Our Image sales are higher than 12%. Our Image really, it runs really, really high up there. Sometimes it's above Marvel for us with Image, just because we do have such a huge indie market. And we see a lot of, the Dynamite books sell from all the nostalgia point books. But we're definitely seeing a lot of Oni with their new titles, a lot of Dark Horse with their new titles and things like that as well.
Awesome. I will say, so looking at the list, what we're seeing obviously is not surprising. Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Martian Manhunter are the top two. Absolute Wonder Woman looking at 34 copies per store. Absolute Martian Manhunter 25. Punisher #1 coming in at number 3 with 22 copies per store. Amazing Spider-Man Venom Special. Amazing Spider-Man Venom Death Spiral coming in at 18 copies per store. Absolute Batman 17 still on there, even though it's
from the week before too.
That's from the week before. 15 copies per store sold last week, the week after it came out. Incredible. I think as I'm scrolling down, I'm looking for who is Image enters the list at 21 with Universal Monsters Phantom of the Opera. And I apologize. Normally I try and do this ahead of time, but you're getting me live. Conan the Barbarian at number 36 from Titan Comics. And then it really, IDW enters the chat at The Rocketeer, The Island at number 1 at number 42.
Surprisingly strong too. Like that was a really strong book.
Don't sleep on that Rocketeer. It is a public domain dream come true. There is that is every public domain thing that you didn't know you wanted to see come together in that book in a cool way.
Here's something interesting. Murder Drones came in at number 45. Murder Drones #1 came in at number 45 from Oni Comics at 6 copies per store. However, it comes in behind on the list for total sales. It comes in behind Wolverine Weapons. It only had 4.5 copies per store. What this tells me is that there are stores that are killing with this, and other stores that just don't know what Murder Drones is. They don't have an 11-year-old like I do who knows who Murder Drones is, So I mean, it's fascinating to see these sort of outliers come in and take on, the big dogs, as it were. So yeah, awesome. What were did you have any favorites that we haven't talked about? Is Ted okay coming in at number 57? Thank you, Mad Cave Studios.
So good.
Murder Podcast at 61. Murder Podcast number 5 from our friends at Ignition.
Oh man, what a good book that is too. That's such really good. I can't wait for that one to get turned into some kind of show or something, because it's such a good, such a cinematic story, as most Jeremy stories are. Jeremy Hahn is so good at telling you something you anticipate being a great thing. You know what wrapped really well was I really liked Rodney Barnes and Chris Sheehan working on a 30 Days of Night book together.
Oh yeah,
that was such a good choice for a team up on that for sure. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at my list from last week because I read 2 weeks together. So for Wind Down Your Weekend, if I miss a week, like when we're gone at something like ComicsPRO, I have to do both weeks together. So that's why I read 77 books on Sunday. So I'm like, which ones were this week and which ones were the week before? Like my brain is like, I don't remember which one goes which, but
I don't even know how you remember everything you read.
Oh man,
maybe it's because I'm so old now.
I don't know. People always ask too. They're like, "Where do you hide the notepad on Wind Down Your Weekend for all the books?" And I'm like, "I don't write anything down." Like,
I don't know how you retain it. Like, I genuinely, I will read some that where I'm like, "This is one of the best books I've read in how long?" And the next week, you could ask me what it's about, and I'd be like, "No idea." I have to go back and look at it to see. Like, I'm impressed by that. Yes,
I will say I accused Jeremy and Philip of creating murder podcasts as bait for Christina.
Yeah, no, they totally did. Because what they did is they finally listened to me, because I've been telling people to make a book like this for like 5 or 6 years at least, and no one has listened. And I'm like, if you want to get female readers into your stores, you do true crime stuff, and Murder Podcast is perfect for that.
It is absolutely perfect.
True crime and romantasy. We need more of
That's
those
right.
things.
Well, I want us to get more smut comics too. Like, come on.
Amen.
Which, that said, is anybody reading Aerotech, which is was not out last week, but was out 2 weeks ago? It's from SHP's Mature line. It is about a woman who works for a company that produces sex robots, but it's actually like, so you have all of the like smuttiness of that, but it is actually a commentary on how women are treated in the workplace, because she is the executive in charge of the project, and they keep like just running over her and trying to like push her out. And you've got the skeezy man that comes in and is like seducing her to try to like be like, "Oh no, I'm just here to be your business partner." But then he's like, "Oh, by the way, like I have all of that information now to use against you." And so it is like a book that we're not seeing anything like that. And I'm like, and everybody that picks it up is like, "Oh, well, it looks like it's really anti-feminist because like sex robots are on the cover with their boobs." And I'm like, read it, go sit over there, adult, and read it in the corner and tell me how it's not actually. It's like such a good, again, commentary on.
I love it.
Megan,
what's it called? Aerotech
from SHP.
I will say, as somebody who is a fan of the smutty comics from way back, I do say that I do struggle with being the pervy old guy in the room, like when we want to talk about this. So we're gonna have to have you guys back when we do talk about. Obviously, you know what? Maybe we'll just have an entire Comic Industry Insiders Live that's just you and Bree talking about the return of smut comics. So Brian and I don't feel like the pervy guys
we'll just
in the
have to
corner.
go away.
Megan on the show. Megan needs to be there with us.
Megan, 100%, please. More Megan, less Adam. I agree with that.
There we go.
Awesome. Okay. Well, and yet another good week for comic shops. Yet another good week for growth. Thank you, Christina, for all the work that you're doing in that realm. Thank you, Shannon, for all the work that ComicsPRO is doing, and thanks for coming on the show today.
Of course.
We're really looking forward to building this out with both of your help, because I think this kind of information is absolutely necessary for us to grow as an industry. So thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
I have to say before I go, you said we all had to give our little classified ads. So to Christina's point, I would run a classified ad that says "Wind Down Your Weekend with Shannon." I read all the books, so you don't have to.
I'm saying for $1 a word, you could go into CTM number 2. Gabe, if you are not already in the comments with your email, I don't know what's going on, my friend.
Get that email out there. It's gabe@pranadm.com.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Shannon. And looking forward to next time. I have no doubt there will be one. Awesome. All right. So let's get into our FOC. The final thing in our show is the final order cutoff. This is a thing, something that I've actually really come to really enjoy, which is a short video package about a book that's coming up on FOC. Retailers, you are making the choice this week to order this. Fans, you should be in there 100%, making sure that retailers are ordering it. After you see this, you're going to want it. And this is always led, as always, by our friend Keith Davidson. Let's run that package.
Hello, welcome to the Final Cut, where we take a quick look at upcoming projects headed to final order cutoff. I'm your host, Keith Davidson, Prana's direct market specialist, and I'm joined this week by Austin McKinley, the writer and artist of the original graphic novel Riot Force. Austin, welcome.
Hi, Keith. Thanks. Good to be here.
So let's lay the foundation for our audience. What is Riot Force about?
Riot Force is about a maverick, wisecracking team of crime fighters who have to stop a mad bomber from destroying the city, only to discover that the mad bomber is funded by the same corporate power that signs their paychecks.
Well, now this is a wild, over-the-top action book with far-out characters. What do you love most about this kind of storytelling?
One of the things that I think makes cartooning so powerful is it has the ability to transcend language. Obviously, I have access to the written word, but I can also show you how a character feels, and that activates mirrored neurons. We had the ability to understand faces before we ever had a spoken language, and so cartooning can cut right to the heart of how you're meant to feel in this situation, and it's a collaboration, it's a conversation with the reader because they're reading it at their own pace and they're imbuing it with their own personality and taste.
Are there other comic titles in the marketplace, or perhaps TV shows and movies that you feel have a similar kind of feel to Riot Force?
Obviously, it's heavily influenced by 80s cartoons like G.I. Joe, arcade games, action movies like RoboCop and The Running Man. It's also kind of got a subversive streak. It's a little bit of Judge Dredd, 2000 AD, the kind of thing that navigates moral complexity and explores the dark side of corporate power.
So let's talk about the audience for Riot Force. Who do you think will love to read this book?
Teenage boys. At least that's the idea. This is a story that I've been wanting to tell since I was first drawing comics in 3rd grade. These characters have been with me my whole life. It's very much aimed at a teenage sensibility, but it's filtered through an adult perspective. So anybody who likes themes of contextual justice and team dynamics and playing with comic book tropes in this subversive way is going to love this story. That's who Riot Force is for.
Now, are there any last words that you'd like to share about Riot Force?
Just that this book is the culmination of nearly 40 years of creative incubation, 3 years of full-time nose to the drawing board work, and I'm so excited to partner with retailers to finally share it with the world. So a huge thanks to all the shops and bookstores that support truly independent original graphic novels.
Austin, thank you very much. That's all for today, and we really appreciate you joining us on The Final Cut.
Thanks for having me.
And to our viewers, one last reminder that Riot Force, published by SourcePoint Press, will be hitting stores in April. Retailers, look for it in the Prana Publisher section of your distributor catalog and on FOC this coming Monday. Take care.
And we are. Here we are.
I wasn't sure if Blake was still there or if he had a power outage. I know he's got a meeting to go to soon. Blake, thanks so much for all you do.
Yes.
You're the best.
He truly is. Thank you. Awesome. Well, let's
looks really fun, eh? Like there's a whole bunch of books like that are kind of entering the market right now. There's one called Robo Wolf that looks like the fever dream of Eastman and Laird, honestly. It's like absolutely crazy. So it's fun that this kind of stuff is coming.
This does give us an opportunity. So yes, if you want to hit the next slide, these kinds of books are available now, and you get an opportunity to really support them and push them into the stores, which gives us greater diversity of product in the stores. It gives the new creators a chance to get a foothold, and it gives the stores even better representation of everybody. So yes, Riot Force in the stores. Here are, if you want to pause this right now, you can actually take down those order codes for Lunar, Universal, and Diamond UK. FOC on Monday. Thank you for ordering early and ordering often. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Did you enjoy hearing about the books that were out last week and how well they did? Well, every week in the Prana Bullet, which is the newsletter we put out on Fridays, we give you the top 400 best-selling single issue comics in comic shops on a live basis, very nearly the week before. We also run down all of the biggest news stories of that week, making sure that you get everything that you need to understand how the comics industry is thriving and surviving in this nutty landscape that we're all in. So yeah, the Prana Bullet, please do pranadm.com or snap a pic and go to the QR code. What else?
I'm not going to promise this, but
okay,
after the show, you and I are going to talk about the possibility of putting that video somewhere, because I'm a little worried about copyright infringement on here, but there's no rules about emails, and maybe we can put it somewhere and people can see.
Good idea.
Breeze, huh?
Perhaps if you sign up for the newsletter, perhaps you will see Bree doing maybe not the best song in the world, but in fact,
a tribute.
Indeed.
I'm going to try and channel.
Oh,
Blake. Let me see if I can do it. Oh my God, you guys! Negative Burn, multiple award-winning anthology returned. It's on Soup right now. The campaign is still going. You got to get there. There's a limited edition metal variant available. Oh my God! It's Negative Burn. Why aren't you buying it? Just go and hit the button as many times as you can. Just a second. I don't know how he does that, man. I am legit out of breath right now. Sorry, folks. Sorry. Yeah, Negative Burn. It's on Zoop.
Wow.
Award-winning anthology. Still, I think it's still got a few days to go, so get in there and order it.
Blake's buzz is what's going to happen to my speaker now. That's
I know, it was really loud. I was trying to pull back as far as I could, but I didn't know how far back I had to pull. But yeah, well, you know what? I bet you we got attention from people, so there we go.
You woke everybody up.
All right.
Sure.
All right. Back to my dulcet tones for the next.
Oh, God. Yes, this is on its closing days. Please do check out Negative Burn.
Absolutely.
Because it's been a fantastic campaign, and I'm so glad you guys have been able to support it. And you haven't. You have a very small window, so go check.
Isn't there also something special about the metal variants? Am I wrong on that, or was there?
That's being played with. There's something
Okay.
that might come out about the metal variants. Don't you?
There's some pretty cool stuff. So get on there and check out the campaign for Negative Burn. Just go to zoop.com and
Joe Pruitt put together this incredible book. Oh yeah.
All right, we've got some secrets.
Yes.
I'm not sharing them right now. They're very close to being released. I'm not allowed to say them. That's why my mouth is redacted. But you go to managecomics.com, click on the Get Started. You'll get into our email list. And as soon as these secrets are released, you'll be the first to know. I haven't been this excited about Manage Comics in a long, long time. I've shared some of the plans with Adam. I've not shared some of the plans with Adam. Let me just say, boy. Yeah. And I'm smart enough now to know not to overpromise. So all I'm going to say is there's some really cool stuff coming up, and you should get on that list and find out more.
Amazing indeed, Dirk. Amazing. There you go. Okay. Oh yeah, Comics the Magazine #2 also on FOC on Monday.
This coming Monday.
Why didn't we do a video package for Comics the Magazine?
I didn't know that it was this coming Monday. I thought we had a week. This whole episode should have been Comics the Magazine. What are we doing?
Man, I'm so we were going in a lot of different directions. I got the loud environment.
Sorry.
From my watch.
I'm not going to channel Blake's buzz, but I will tell you, I have in my hand right here the first issue of Comics the Magazine, and I will tell you, having gone through every single page of it, look at how beautiful this thing is. This is a gorgeous magazine. You guys want to have this. Look at that. Look at that chart. You need to have this thing. Oh, can we talk maybe, let's see. Will Comics the Magazine sell other comics for you? Yes, it will. Will Comics the Magazine help you know what is hot? Yes, it will. Will Comics the Magazine tell you who the best creators are? Yes, it will. Go. Buy more. Buy more of number 2.
I want to say I really had planned, and I think we will. There was a problem with distribution that kind of screwed up our timing on this. All excuses. I mean, once you're a publisher, you're nothing but excuses, I guess. But I will tell you that one of the things I'm most proud of in Comics the Magazine is that on the last page, if you want to hold that up, the last page of every issue is going to be an order form in which we outline every single book that we have promoted or talked about or reviewed inside of that book. If you have an ad in that book, you're on the order form. If you hand that, you can hand Comics the Magazine to anybody in your shop and know that it is going to be selling books for you. That's why we priced it in the way we did, so that you can give it away. Comics the Magazine, number 2, coming in hot. FOC on Monday.
Look at that. You want to sell more comics?
I mean,
give people Comics the Magazine.
This is what I'm saying. 100%. There you go, baby. I think we have another Comics the Magazine slide, right? I can't control the slides anymore.
I know. I've got the whole.
Do we not do? Oh, you know what? We also had a slide for. You know what? I'm going to say right now. I've been talking about classifieds. As the guy who works to. You are welcome. Oh, do we have the classifieds slide?
We don't have a classified slide.
All right, I thought we did. So my job really in this is to kind of put together, do the high level stuff. But this week I'm stepping in and I'm going to handle the letters for Comics the Magazine, right? And we're also putting together the classifieds for Comics the Magazine. You're going to be seeing a lot. If you follow me on social media, you're going to be seeing me talk a lot about classifieds, because I think dollar for dollar, it is the best value if you want to get in front of comic shops or comics people, period. $1 a word to get you in front of 100,000 comics fans. $1 a word. I don't know.
I literally said that's too cheap.
I know.
Literally.
Yes. Yes. They're back. Right. So let's go. Come to us. Let us know what you want your classified to be in number 2 this week. You only have this. Oh yeah, that's right. It was there earlier. Right there. There you go. That's the one. It was. So this week is our last chance to get into number 2 for the classified ad. So you want to drop a line to our good buddy.
Gabe at pranadm.com.
Wow.
And Gabe's gonna drop his email in the chat right here. Gabe, go ahead, drop it.
There you go. Excellent.
Can we also talk about the fact that your classify ad is going to be designed by Rico Renzi?
Yes.
That alone is look at those things. Those
your classified
awesome.
ad is going to be a graphic that you can use in your online ads.
100% you can.
Designed by Rico Renzi. That is a deal of his century. You're getting a Rico Renzi design for $25 at minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, come on. All right, classified. Also, letters to the magazine. For those of you who've already seen it, please send us letters. And I'm including you, Brian. Send us letters, because we're putting together the letters column right now. And as opposed to the first one, we don't have 6 letters from Chip Zdarsky to fill up that space. So
I got to tell you, I shared it with Bob Murphy last night. I shared the magazine with Bob Murphy, and he has got some words
Wait a
for
minute.
you. So
Bob Murphy of Murphy's Apple Juice?
Yeah, Bob Murphy of Murphy's Apple Juice. He and I are tight. When I was in California, I jaunted up to Modesto to visit him real quick, and I dropped him a copy, and he and I were talking last night, and he's got some words. So you may see a letter to the editor from Bob Murphy.
I'm looking forward to that. And I'm not saying that Bob, I would love to see a letter from the editor, but maybe Murphy's Apple, the current regime, maybe they need it classified, because we need to balance that out.
I don't know that I'm allowed to talk about that other group.
All right. I'm just saying if they're fans, I know
Bob's always watching me, so I got to be very.
I hear that. I'm just saying sometimes they watch the show. All right.
I feel you. Yeah. All right.
Is that all the CTAs?
I think that's it. Yeah. Let me just do a real quick pass through this slide deck, real quick.
God.
I don't know if you know this. We went a little over.
Yeah, 39 minutes.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
You know what? You know what the thing is? I was just thinking about this, Brian. The people who are watching this right now, who are in a comic shop, right? Maybe this being shown, and they're like putting together a stack of comics right now that they're going to take up to the counter, and they're going to say, "Hey, I also want to subscribe to some of these things." You know what we should say to them?
Probably thank you. Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely.
And you know, the person who rings up that and then diligently works with the POS system that was incredibly well designed by somebody who knows how comic shops works.
And I don't do POS systems.
And adds all those pieces to their subscriptions, to their pull boxes. You know what I say to them? Say thank you.
Absolutely.
And to their boss, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say to the people that are out there that are out there and they're in those 4-color mines, and they're out there and they're supporting the Kickstarters, and they're out there doing the God's work. I mean, thank you, people.
Thank you, Blake. And yeah, for those of you that are self-publishing, thank you. For those of you that are working publishers, like folks like Bree and Stewart,
absolutely,
and Morgana, thank you. You devoted a career that could have been spent somewhere else to selling and saving comics. Thank you. And to all of you, I get to say a really hearty thank you, because this week you did something special. You saved comics. Thank you. Namaste, y'all.
Namaste.